Hello, Beastians. Here's the one on Gaming Beast, and I have the creme de la creme of the YouTube RPG community. And of course, one person left already. Probably, I really hope because of technical issues, not because of what's going on. We have here. Oh, thank God. Okay, we have here. You know what? I'm not even gonna say who's here. I'm just gonna say everybody introduce themselves left to right for how I'm seeing it. The first person who I see from left to right is fucking SRG Joker Andrew Knapp. Introduce yourself, man.
Hey guys, Andrew Knapp here. I go by SR2 Joker on the YouTube, but you may know my recent work called The Purging of the OSG.
And the next person right next to him is fucking Ian Christensen's Fantastic Dimensions because we all love the Fantastic Dimensions.
Yeah, I'm Ian. I'm drunk and having a good night. Yeah, and I was also involved in the bloodbath of April 4th. You know,
Yep,
it was a
yep.
good day.
Which happened like pretty much now or yesterday. Anyway, we have of course Fox from Seven Realm Productions. Fox, please introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? I am Fox Winter. I'm a producer and manager at Seven Realms Productions. We make roleplay roulette and film inflicted trauma.
I'm really happy that you're here because I mean I was considered a old friend of the show of this channel, and in general I consider you an old friend. I like you, man. I like you all guys. Okay.
We don't
Of
mean
course,
you're old, just as you're a friend.
who cares? There's no such thing as age. Fuck that. Nick, please introduce yourself. Another one of my great friends.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Hartunian, official Gmilf consultant of the OSG.
There you go. And the sponsor of this episode is gonna be Kaltenberg König Ludwig Weissbier Dunkel. Okay, that's a half a Weizen for your American faggots, and it's dark. Okay, sorry for the word. I wouldn't want to say that. A little bit drunk.
Like what? What's the
for,
context
for,
here?
for your American persons, there you go. Apologies.
Half a Weizen, yes.
No, it's good. I
Wheat
just
beer.
laughed.
I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
I just had the best laugh of my night so far, actually.
Throw me with stones, like if I'm, like throw me stones anyway. I'm sorry.
I'll throw a few stones at you.
Good.
They're digital stones, so I mean, I guess.
Good.
Yeah, they're not going to hurt very much, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the wording.
I'm gonna
For
do
all the
the.
American non-knowledge persons that drink really bad beer. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. There.
Right on. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my camera on so I can do one of these.
Oh.
For shame, Sean. For shame.
Anyway,
Party
so what's
foul.
the topics of the day? What's the topics of the day after I've been shamed because I said a bad word? I said
well,
a bad word.
it's your tavern barkeep. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm the barkeep, but you're the heroes. You came from your dimensions. You have slayed some monsters. You have beaten some galactic invaders. You have beaten the Cthulhuoid monsters. I'm not going to say Cthulhu because that's exaggerated. You have fought against like great supervillains. You've come to the keep, whatever it is. You come to me. I'm just the interdimensional barkeep here.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about Marcus Leja and Philip Posey? I don't know if I'd call them.
Please continue. Who
I
are
don't know
these
if I'd
people?
call. I don't know if I'd compare them
Let's
to
role
great
play
old
this.
ones.
Let's role play this. I'm in the tavern. I'm paying. I'm like, I got my friends here, Fox, and he's pointing out, your language is kind of dated, man. Come on, broski. For the multiverse, it's really dated. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then fucking Ian Christensen comes in with his great, rapier on the side and his great.
No. I have a hammer.
Well, you know what? No. Ian Christensen, please describe your character, your barkeep character.
Right. Okay. My character is obviously too big for his britches. It's quite obvious when you see him. He's got a giant fucking hammer with the word "ban" on it and a smoking gun. And currently, my armor is just like covered in blood, but none of it's mine, so it's okay. Oh yeah, total cocky smirk because he's a bit of a prick as well. You know.
So I'm asking him, so, my friend, what would you like to drink, and why won't you tell me the story about what's been happening with you with this smoking gun and all this blood on your armor?
Well, I will drink beer since I have some right here. Thank you very much. And
I will cheers with you with the Death Mug of Doom that I have right next to me.
cheers, yeah. A virtual digital cheers. And let's see, why am I covered in the blood of other men? It was, another, unfortunately, getting all too commonly typical day in the OSG with, a great war was fought. There were casualties on both sides. Unfortunately, most of them were killed by the neutral party, but that just happens.
Why exactly was this war inflamed? What was the instigator?
Ultimately, because people don't know how to play nice and have conversations like rational adults.
Like, can you get more into specifics? My barkeep is very curious.
Very curious.
He's very he's got a foul sailor mouth.
No,
He
it's
doesn't
cool.
know
If you
when
want me
he's
to get right into
cussing or what he's saying.
specifics, I'll just say.
That's why we got the great Fox Winter here. Tell him yeah, come on, broski.
I gotta tell you, I completely missed everything that happened in the OSG group.
Since when?
I just, all of a sudden I heard about, we've got some problems here and problems, they've been sorted out. It's not, something that I'm like, okay, wow. I wasn't part of a blow up for a change. I've managed to keep my nose clean.
I've been part of the last blow up when I was drunk, and I said, "Hey, ask me anything." I'm like,
oh no! Yeah, I remember that.
Jesus Christ!
I think that was the tail end of I think you just caught I think several other people had done that as well, and I think you just caught the point where it was the last straw.
No, actually,
I can't say that for certain though. I'm talking best educated guess here. I think there are people here who know much better than me about that.
Actually, the fact of the matter is that I asked that question in the wrong group, but Ian can tell you the rest because Ian knows the whole story.
Yeah.
Ian?
Sounds really quiet.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Ian. Andrew can't hear you either. Ian has been kicked out. There has been some kind of demonic force who has pulled him back outside, which is probably
some fashion of wicked internet demon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Anyway, no, Sean was the first one to post an Ask Me Anything post in the OSG. At which I immediately said, "What the fuck are you doing, you fool? There's a reason why I only post these in the W3 and not in the OSG. One of the primary reasons is that the W3 doesn't have 5,000 fucking members in it. But yeah. Anyway.
Because I was honestly, the truth is, I was drunk as fuck. I was more drunk. I was way more drunk than I'm now. It was
really entertaining though, and even more entertaining was your other thread afterwards where you said, post an honest statement about any person in the OSG you want right here. This is fun.
A one-sentence statement about.
That was the best fucking post, Sean McMurray. The best.
Nick, I love you. You're a great man. You're a broski.
I don't think anybody got banned out of that post. It was all out of the Ask Me Anythings that people got banned. And it's a controversial thing. People getting
the next day, I wake up and then I see this thing Ask Me Anything posts on the OSG are banned now, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ!
You had 8 copycats. You had 8 copycats within 2 hours, and I was like, okay.
Man, I was for the first time, I was popular, and people were copying me, and it was the wrong way, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ!
No, it was great, man. It was good. It was a good 15 minutes of fame, man.
15 minutes of fame, but those 15 minutes were juicy. They were juicy.
You handled yourself like a true professional. Other people, unfortunately, didn't, and they got kicked, or they got their throats slit and dumped in the alley.
Yep.
Especially that fucking dude. I hope he's watching this right now. He jumped in the Ask Me Anything posts and started asking people for dick pics. And then I said,
what the fuck is wrong with people? I say bad words here,
look,
and
man.
I apologize for that. But
I
then
said,
you say
please.
this?
Oh, wow, man.
Hello?
I don't know. Ian, are you still there? I think you got cut off. Anyway, I said bad words today, and I felt really bad for that. But then asking for dick pics from random people, I'm like, are you fucking insane? Like, seriously? But,
Wait, when did this happen?
I seem to get cut off every time Sean starts getting excited. I don't know why. But, yeah, no, this guy just jumped in on one of the many Ask Me Anything posts. In fact, I can tell you exactly. It was David Alexander Parker's Ask Me Anything post. And the guy said, dick pics, please. That was his question for the Ask Me Anything. And I said,
On the OG?
I jumped straight in. I said, look, man.
No.
Number one, keep it up. Number two,
no.
no, pornography is banned. Sorry, can it? And he immediately retorted, and this is something that pisses me off. And I'm sorry, I take this shit too far. I'm the big man with a gun. But I'm one of 2 admin members of the entire fucking group. If I tell you to stop doing something, and you come back to me with sarcasm and fucking cockiness, sorry, you're going to get banned. So he came back and said, no, he said, I think I'd rather risk being banned than stop asking people for dick pics. So I banned him. I hope he's watching this. And,
oh my god, I wish I had seen that. I would have gone immediately into his profile, harvested one of his profile pictures, and posted it right after with a here you go.
There you go. See, I wasn't feeling that witty at the time.
Oh, you're not obligated to. You're in charge.
Fox, that would have been genius. I would have bowed down to you. But by the way,
I missed that completely though.
I sometimes say stuff that I don't mean, and I stumble over my words.
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
And I apologize. But then you have a guy saying, oh yeah, ask me dick pics. And David Alexander Parker is a really good guy. He's in my fucking D&D campaign. He's a fucking awesome guy. Love this guy to death.
I don't know. He's a good guy, but
he's a good guy. I like him. Yeah.
I mean,
he plays the best bard, a female bard I've seen ever.
Nice.
So
it's you can be a nice guy all day long. I mean, if you're breaking the rules, you're breaking the rules.
No, David's pretty good.
Exactly.
David doesn't break the rules too much, and the one time he did, we asked him to stop, and he stopped right away. So.
Yeah, and he stopped right away.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I didn't. I kind of got lost on who we were
That's
talking
all. That's all we can ask for currently in the group is if we ask you to stop something, please stop. And that's good enough. But that was only one. I mean, that was the Sean Vigvari instigated massacre. Before that, there was the great racism massacre over Mithril.
It's like battle. It's like my innkeeper right now is just listening, and I'm taking my book out to write down for my memoirs. We
had the great Mithril massacre. That was around December, I think.
Did I miss that one too?
Probably. There was
I'm still in the group, so
there was the Vigvari Ask Me Anything massacre.
Did I miss that too? I'm still in the group, by the way.
So I'm still in the group, so I assume that I missed it. I'm sorry.
There's one that I'm really.
Well, you probably have a life, You have a real life going on. So.
Barely.
Oh, I can't remember. There was the Ask Me Anything massacre. There was the Mithril massacre. Oh, the Alpha Blue massacre.
Yeah, the Alpha Blue massacre. Sorry about that.
Come on, man.
Nick started
is a
that
fucking
one.
amazing game.
Really?
It has the Zartos or whatever the
Zardos Mankini.
Zardos Mankini, and it has the blade weapon from Kroll. That alone makes it a great game for me. I'm an idiot.
It is a really cool game.
I mean,
I really wanted to love it. I bought a copy of it. I read it. I love Avenger Satanis, but I don't want to say too much about it because it's going to be in a video later. But this is seriously one of the most disappointing books I've read in the last 2 years.
Is it because it's not too raunchy, or is it
No,
because it's too raunchy?
it's because that. Well, this is the thing about it. It's disappointing for me because that book was not written for people like me. And like I read it and I was like, man, I really wanted some smut. I've just kind of been relegated into a few small charts back here.
No, I agree with you, and I said that.
Yeah,
actually, if you look at the review I wrote for it on Drive-Thru RPG, I made mention of that as well.
However, I will say I've talked with Vendor about it, and he's told me to make all the gay content to my heart's desire.
I mean, absolutely, and that's one thing. But I mean, I could make my own game if that's what I'm doing. The trick
I know.
is that that's the thing is like I expected a bit more from Venger because I followed his game line for quite a while. I like his stuff. I think he's a cool guy, and I know he doesn't intend to be exclusionary, but just unless you're a very specific type of person, which to be fair is going to be his largest audience because it's the largest audience in the role-playing community. It's the largest market demographic. You just kind of you read it and just kind of feel a little left out, like oh that's a shame. But I mean I wasn't like offended by it. I was just like I'm a little disappointed that I'm a little disappointed by how vanilla the smut in this is.
No, I agree with you.
I like that review because like now we have to play the game again and like crank up the smut, I guess.
That was actually, I think, my one negative point that I
is
raised.
left and right, like fucking.
That was my big kind of negative point that I think I raised in my review when I did one for him on Drive-Thru, was that it did just strictly target, not strictly. There was like a paragraph each for. There's like a paragraph for if you're a female gamer. There was a paragraph, if you were into dudes, or maybe it was just one paragraph for the two to get.
It was the same chart actually.
Yeah, I think it was one paragraph for both groups, and then everything else was just pretty much the.
Which more than anything, just kind of felt lazy to me.
Well, having said that, though, if you'd ever like to play the game with us, by all means, you're invited to come and play the games with us. We have a pretty good time with it, so.
We can modify it too. Like I mean, as you explained it, like I think like
we do on the fly mostly anyway, but
like I think yeah, I can see why it would be disappointing because it calls itself really like a smut game, but
yeah. But I mean, it doesn't, like not every product has to cater to everybody. I just feel that I just expected, like what I know from Venger, I expected a lot more well-rounded. But like I said, I read it and I was like, well, this isn't bad. I think I got my hopes up and expected more than I should have. But again, that comes from his previous products more than anything. So I kind of wondered if maybe he might do a LaVey kind of thing where, like, Anton LaVey realized that the Satanic Bible was extremely masculocentric, so he wrote a companion piece that was as big called The Satanic Witch that was, intended to fill in the gaps for the non-male audience. And, I was like, well, maybe we'll get another supplement because Alpha Blue seems really super popular.
I'm sorry, when you say fill out the gaps, non-male audience.
I didn't put up cha.
Oh,
I can work for male or female audience or whatever you
I didn't
subscribe,
even mean
whatever
that one.
gender you subscribe.
Fill in the
to,
gaps.
So. Fill in the gaps, whatever gaps you have.
Yeah, whatever you may have to fill. But Fox Winter dropping the puns when he doesn't even mean to.
You are. I would say like you're the bomb master, and I agree. Like, I don't know this guy. This Alpha Blue is the first game I played. But yeah, it could have been raunchier because I enjoyed the game. But from what I saw,
oh man, check
it was
out
raunchy. But it could have been much raunchier.
Get a copy of Empire of Satanus. That game is awesome.
I know Empire of Satanus. I know. My hobby is one of the days playing most of the really bad RPGs ever made. Except, Fatal, because reasons, But other than that, everything else,
Part of me feels kind of sad for the guy who's trying to experiment and start a Fatal game because nobody wants to play with him.
Yeah, there was a post.
I was just having a larf in there. I wasn't actually trying to dissuade people from playing the game, and then after a while, I just sat back. I was like, "Wow, I kind of feel like a dick here. Did I totally derail this?"
No, I don't think it was you. I don't think.
No, you didn't.
No,
You didn't.
Dinosaur.
Fox, I remember you told me, I asked you this, when you did your fucking awesome review on Seven Realms Production about Fatal.
Yeah.
I was amazed. Fulcrum point. That's all I'm going to say. Fulcrum point. You said that you read the book from beginning to end 2 times. I couldn't. Every time I opened
3 times. 3 times.
Fuck
I read the whole book
sorry.
3 times.
I'm saying fuck you in the most sincere, in like the good way manner you can say. Congratulations.
I legitimately think it was the most in-depth I've ever had to read a game to make sure that, because I wanted to make sure that I had the mechanics hard. Because that was what,
mechanics hard.
It was, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted them dripping.
You wanted to coming, so the thing is that fucking Fatal, whenever I read it, whenever I attempt to read it, I feel dirty or I feel confused because the goddamn rules. It's like anal circumference, fucking the size of your fucking of course, there's the size of your dick, of course.
Yeah.
I love you.
And there's of course, as the sign of your. I'll give up. That game is fucking. I'll just give up. Fulcrum point.
Compatibility is important.
You see, the thing about Alpha Blue, it's raunchy, but it's all the right raunchy.
At least it's simple.
That's the thing, is the game is simple. So it's like, okay, so it's like the porn comedy game. But it's simple. It's like Austin Powers in space. But at least I don't have to fucking memorize charts and shit, and at least it doesn't feel me like where I want to shower myself after I read the goddamn rules or something.
Maybe you're just not playing it right yet.
At least it doesn't have a cursed magic item called Shay Fonda Fuck's Book of Ebonics.
But it does have controversial rape.
That's true.
Tell me that's
It is a real thing. Not only is it a real thing, it's one of them that actually made it through his racism purge after a bunch of people pointed out the armor that turns you into a miserly Jew in the original.
L'chaim! It's not the kosher game for sure. Sorry, I'll stop. I'm a horrible human being that should be purged right here. So. No, but he definitely a lot of racist shit going on in that game, and a lot of sexist shit, a lot of shit.
In Fatal, right?
It's stuff that's just been, we've talked about it a lot.
He does fly.
Yeah.
Is everybody still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, sorry, my whole system froze up for a second there, or at least this browser.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We had the myth.
Is that John there in the background? I hear John.
Yeah, sorry.
Am I wrong there?
What? Are you wrong?
No, that's John. You can hear him. This mic is super sensitive. I don't know if he realizes that he's on. Sorry, Ian. What are you trying to say, man?
We played Palladium Fantasy. I'm not going to forget the voices. I have a good memory. Good times. Good times, by the way.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
That was the 4 purges. So there was the Mithrog Purge.
Mithrog Purge.
Followed by the Vigvari Purge. Followed by the Alpha Blue Purge.
My 15 seconds of fame, the Vigvari Purge.
I don't even know what to title this one, man. It's just, it's the April 4th Massacre.
Like fucking events of history.
They claimed a lot of people. They claimed some people that had it for a long time.
Okay, Ian.
I've never heard of before. But,
Ian, I have a question. Ian and Andrew. I haven't followed the whole thing, but what exactly happened that the purge happened of today? Because we're just sort of after the battle right now. The battlefield.
It came down to people just trying to cause more shit and trying to exacerbate shit. And basically, I've just had enough of that. You know what I mean? If you're just in the group trying to cause trouble, now I banned 7 people today and 1 person left of their own volition. Out of all 8 of those people, only 1 person actually contributes to the purpose of the group in running games and playing games. The other people all are simply peanut gallery people, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean? They just come in, they jump in on every controversial thread, and they argue and they cause trouble. One way or another, whether it's just baiting other people or whether it's using abusive language towards other people, etc. And of the 8 people that got cut today, 7 of them had been warned before as well. So, the reason people got cut today was multitudes. Each person got cut for different reasons. Some people got cut for directly insulting people and their disabilities. Some people got cut
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man.
For using epithets towards people's sexuality. Some people got cut.
That's fucked up too.
Simply fanning the flames and trying to rile it up and make it more of, oh, come on, let's get the SJWs versus the MRAs and let's get, you know what I mean? I'm just like, done. You're just trying to cause trouble. Fuck off. Get lost. Go play dolls with Philip in his new fucking group with the very original name, the RPG Tabletop Campaign Group. And yeah, fuck that guy too. So he's had it coming for a long time. In fairness, he had more chances than anybody else.
Well, it's like the third or second time he got banned.
A lot of people think that I was playing favorites with him because I used to be friends with him. I haven't been friends with the guy for several months. He fucking stabbed me in the back a while back. Pissed me off. But I was waiting for the right... I wasn't going to just kick him out of the group because he pissed me off. He fucking betrayed me. But when he fucking attacked somebody directly for a disability today, that was it. I was like, okay, that's your last straw. You're done. Goodbye. Good night. And nobody, very few people anyway, are going to miss him. So, sorry. I wanted to get that off my chest. Hope he's listening. Get fucked.
Jeez.
If he's following my channel, he can watch it. Most people don't follow my channel, so.
And I here hang out, but
I follow your channel.
You are cool guy. You're cool. You're bro. All of you are bros. So. You're exempt from that, but you should make fun of people's sexuality or disability. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. It's beyond not cool. It's like wrong. It's beyond wrong. I they need the word for that. So.
Yeah, and I also note that at least one of the people I cut today, yeah, definitely, was also a friend of mine. A guy that I game with a lot, a guy that I was currently friends with. He's very upset right now and doesn't understand what's going on. How could I kick him out of the group? But that's just like, you were causing trouble. So you get kicked whether you're my friend or not. So take that to heart, Hartoonian. Watch yourself.
Take that to heart, Hartoonian.
That's the hard part about being in charge is sometimes you got to do stuff that sucks.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, Nick. You haven't done anything wrong. I love Nick.
Nick is great. Nobody say anything bad about Nick.
That Joker SRT, motherfucker.
Quiet, man. I don't know if I've just been talking too much or what, but.
Hey, Andrew, do you have any comments for the great battle? I'm like in the bar, right, in the tavern. And I got the torches all lit and everything. I'm listening to the great stories, and people are around. Some have left, but there's some listening. I'll stop with the bullshitting. But Andrew, you got any comments to that?
The only thing I can say is that most of the people that ended up getting banned were people that we had been thinking about banning for a while, anyways. Like, this wasn't innocent people. They were people that had broken the rules multiple times and kind of like lingered in that dancing around instant termination zone. James Haston, Scott Picard, all those dudes. Yeah, I think the group is a much better place just because we nuked them. What's really funny is we got rid of them, and then we turned it into fucking Eden by getting rid of religion, politics, and ideology afterwards.
It's a good idea because those are topics that I find are very important, but it's also something that everybody should discuss in their own forums because everybody has a forum with their own Facebook and their groups and everything. And a role-playing group, I think, is not the place to discuss these topics, unless it has.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Andrew. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you, Andrew. Feel free to cut me off at any point, but I think we feel that it's important as well. That's why we wanted to allow discussion of these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're important issues. Whatever side you're on, there's important things that should not be ignored. That should be discussed one way or the other. You know what I mean? Awareness is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's just went too far. We both, and I'll let Andrew speak after this, but we both just felt that enough was enough. We just can't fucking police this shit anymore.
There's too many people, man. There's too many. You cannot be Judge Dredd for that many people and not like do the execution move, Judge Dredd style, or Dirty Harry style, whatever style you want to call it.
Fucking Juve Carmichael style.
Juve Carmichael style. No, Juve Carmichael style means Rex Apocalypse. Everybody dies. So.
The thing with it too is that people assume this was because of a single incident, but it's not the case. We've been observing what happens with these threads for like a year and a half now, all within the group, so it's incredibly relevant and pertinent. Not like, in general, people shouldn't discuss this stuff online. Now, we've seen exactly what happens in this group historically when people try to discuss stuff like that online, and there's never been anything good that comes from it. The only byproduct of that type of discussion is bans and complaints to the admin.
I don't know. I feel like the kind of group that you guys run lends itself to ban on outside discussion very well. So I think the format of the OSG, or the tabletop group, is one that it kind of if you guys are doing that, that's one of the places that I'd be like, yeah, I can see that.
I think, Fox, the problem is that, I'm a person, I believe in democracy, I believe in people should be able to voice their opinions, but with the OSG, it's supposed to be about role-playing, it's supposed to be about running games.
No, that's what I'm saying, is that like
exactly.
The format that they're running, like being just if you have a rule that's just post nothing here, but links or plans for games.
Yeah.
Then
exactly.
like that, I would look at that and be like, that's 100% fair.
Because the problem with the brigade, I've been around since the brigade. I've been doing shit before the brigade, not being hipster status, whatever. Who gives a fuck? I'm an old fuck. Who gives a fuck? But in the brigade, the biggest issue was I wanted to play games, right?
Yeah.
I did Inferno back in the day. There's this site called Inferno to get people. It was kind of like supposedly an attempt to do an RPG Facebook where people like put their they had a profile and shit. But it didn't work as well. Like almost every person I played with, I have no contact with them anymore. And the brigade was the first attempt at that it would work better. But eventually every discussion was like, let's discuss something about like some issue about the game, like why chainmail bikinis are bad or how they're good or whatever, blah blah blah, bullshit discussion on like. How is this helping getting games going? And that's why I like the OSG, because in the beginning of the OSG, what I really loved about the OSG was like, let's get games fucking going. If you want to talk about fucking games theory and whatever bullshit and whatever you care, that's fine. Let's do this. But not in this group. I want to fucking play games. I want to get games going, because for me that's the main thing. That's my main thing, really, in the end. And that's the thing is that I think the OSG has been flourishing ever since only Andrew and Ian. Yeah, the tyranny, the Two Towers tyranny. I support that fuck that, because you know what? Because it's all about let's get games going. Whatever games you want to play, it doesn't matter. Let's get games going. That's it. And we can also have some discussion, but let's bring in politics. Let's bring in gender issues. Let's bring in religion. Let's bring in all these topics. I'm like, no, I don't want to think about this because this is real life shit that already affects my life. I want to fucking slay monsters. I want to fucking zap aliens. I want to fucking try to fuck with Cthulhu, but Cthulhu will make me crazy and die anyway. Blah blah blah. That's what I want to do. Okay, I want to live in make believe land for a little bit. Okay, just for a little bit. Okay. Thank you very much. I got enough problems in my real life. That's it. Like there's enough Facebook groups you could talk about fucking Bernie Sanders and Trump and fucking Jesus and Yahweh and whatever. Do that. That's great. That's fucking great. Do that. But this is always cheap. It's role-playing fucking games. Let's do sessions. Done. That's my thing.
Well, another thing that irritates me about it is that because of the way we were doing administration on these controversial threads, I think I said in the podcast we just did, it was like King Solomon shit. Like, grieved parties come to you, and one party's like, get rid of this other fucker, and that party's like, oh, hell no, you're censoring me. And it's like you have to choose a side. No matter what side you choose, because they're on different sides of an argument, you're just a neutral arbiter. But no matter what side you choose, you're going to piss off a bunch of people. And then they'll respond in kind by, saying things about you. For instance, a couple recent rulings got me and Ian called rape apologists on another group, and a whole bunch of other crap. So when it gets to that point where people are really, really getting upset over vital discussions that are taking place in the group, I think it's time just to get rid of them. Because the reason that we have the group is to talk about RPGs and play games. So
I think there's a big problem when people start calling you horrible, horrible things, like rape apologists. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We're playing role-playing games here, okay? Fucker.
What's really funny about me being a rape apologist is one time for like an entire year, it was when I was in college, I had an internship, and I was actually a domestic violence advocate. I went around to nonprofits and churches and did domestic violence advocacy for males, actually, which is something that's not talked about a lot. But it just makes me laugh because I think people make assumptions, and that's always a bad road to go down, no matter which side of the line you're on.
It's a rough situation to deal with because a lot of times people are already riled up, especially when the trolls get in there.
Oh yeah.
So like people are already angry and.
Yeah, and too, like, I'm a really opinionated person in general, and you can't be opinionated as an admin. I get myself into trouble sometimes because I'll try to take off the admin hat and then talk to somebody as just a member of the group when this shit happens.
I need you.
And
Only one I got.
I'm just saying, sometimes you're like, hey, I want to jump in on that conversation, not as an admin, but as a person just shooting the shit that has an opinion. And when I do that, I think sometimes people assume I'm attacking or disagreeing with them as an admin. And then they get really, really defensive about it. So it's one of those things where if you're an admin, you really aren't even entitled to an opinion on stuff like that. You really are just confined to that neutrality, and that's tough to deal with too.
I mean,
it can be rough because speaking from a position of authority, and when you're an admin, you are speaking from a position of authority. Like anything that you any like opinion that you put out there becomes normalized for the group. Because you're, as as a position of authority, your opinion carries more weight. Because you guys run the group, so you set the tone. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that's very frustrating.
Yeah, in this group, it does. It sets a huge precedent because I have a certain political bend. Obviously, everybody does, and I'll get into arguments with people, which I'm perfectly fine having arguments with them. Very, very rarely do I ever insult anybody in arguments, and I have pretty long arguments over some of these discussions, but it's led to an atmosphere where people think we're these like crazy fucking right-wing psychopaths, and I'm like,
maybe if you're
not.
compared to like me, but probably not by comparison to a normal person.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to add a little bit of reality in this discussion, just a little bit. We're fucking nerds. We play fucking role-playing games. I'm not saying we're like special snowflakes. That's bullshit. But a lot of us are not inside of the norm. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll say it for you. We are all special snowflakes. Every single one of us has different fingerprints.
Each one of us is unique, just like everyone else.
I didn't want to interrupt the discussion, Andrew, so just wanted to add that.
Nope, that's all I had to say about it. Basically, if you're an admin, you're fucked.
The problem is being an admin. That's why I'm happy. I've been the only time I've been an admin is for a forum group for a website that I've been part of. It's like a collab website. It's been like abandoned at this point. It was from some pretty big YouTube guys at the time. I'm not going to say names. Doesn't matter really. The point is that the person who was leading the website left the group, and he basically called all the people, all of his fans, like shitlords, basically, more or less, and in different words. But I was like, because he found Jesus, and I was like, and he blocked me on Facebook. We were friends and everything. And I wasn't even a fan of his content, but I became friends with him. I have like podcasts with him. If you really want to know, you could probably find out which person that is. Okay. The fact of the matter is that I was pissed the fuck off with him. Is because he called all of his fans shitlords, and there were so many fans that still wanted to like him and everything, you know. And I was like, no, because the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to be an asshole. I try to be there for other people, you know. And I try to make connections with people. I try always to be good, but there's some people that just they want to burn the bridges. They want to be assholes. They want to be fucking evil. That's fine, but I'm not gonna help them. And there's people in the OSG, and there's people in the group, and not just the OSG, and the RPG Brigade, and all these groups I've been part of that I've seen that do the same kind of shit. I'm not gonna name names. It doesn't matter. The point is that you probably know them anyway. They're a bunch of fucking idiot shitlords, and they want to. Some of them want to scam money out of you. That's the truth, you know. There's some people who want to scam money out of you or attention. The truth of the matter is that what I really want, and what everybody should, and you know what? That's stupid. Everybody has different goals with the OSG, but the OSG is about getting people to play games, okay? And I have fucking rescheduled games. You know what? The last game I ran, I had to remove the game because it was such a fucking train wreck. The last Starship Troopers game, okay? We had like 3 people. One guy left because he had some problems, and then we had a game with 2 people, and it was a fucking train wreck, really. And I was gonna upload it, but I have to re-edit it because it was such a train wreck, you know. But that's okay. We had a game, and you know what? That counts. And I'm not gonna be a dick about it. I'm not the fucking Lord and Savior. I'm just a dude here in fucking Germany with my own problems. And you can say I'm a fucking shit. I'm probably the king of the shitlords. I'm not even the king of the shitlords. I might be like not even a prince. I might be some knight of the shitlords. The truth of the matter is that you gotta accept, and you know what? You don't have to do anything. The OSG is about, in my opinion, you know what? It's not even about that. it should be what I think. It shouldn't be what I think. No, sorry.
We want to hear it. Come on. What should it be?
Let's play games. Let's play role-playing
What
games.
it is about, though.
Online. That's it. I don't give a fuck. You want to play a one-shot game? Play one-shot game. You want to play an epic 50, 60, 70, 80, 200,000 episode campaign? Play that. You want to have it broadcasted? You don't want to have it broadcasted? Who gives a fuck? Okay? You want to play a female and male, whatever gender, whatever person, whatever gobbledygook character, race you want to play it. Who gives a fuck?
If you want to play Finder, if you want to play Mythrog, if you want to play Fatal, we don't care. Play your game.
Yeah, play Fatal. Play Fatal. You know what? If you can convince me to play Fatal, if you can convince me of the fulcrum point, you're going to be the champion of the universe, because you probably won't achieve that. If you can achieve play fucking a Fatal game with Fox, you're going to be the fucking master of the game. You're going to be fucking He-Man or something like that, or fucking Zarkor or whatever his name is, Zortar or whatever. It's fucking, come on.
But you nailed it, man. The idea, the fundamental idea behind the Tabletop RPG one-shot group is simply play more games. And if we're being honest, originally, even because it was an offshoot from the RPG Brigade, it was actually more literally talk less, play more. You know, if I'm being honest. And Nick, what did you say earlier? You said something to me that was fucking really, really poignant. I really enjoyed. Oh, there he goes. I put him on the spot. He bailed. Yeah, Nick said it so eloquently, and I think also vulgarly at the same time.
Wait! Nick is back. Nick's back.
Yeah, I'm back. It was don't run your mouth, run games.
Boom.
I'm sorry, that was probably very loud.
Fucking done. Nick said it. Done.
There it is. That's the fucking lesson of the April 4th massacre.
Because I tell you something, I was in the RPG Brigade. It was a Gentleman Gamer started that. I was been around like fucking like RPG groups in the internet for a while, and I wanted the RPG Brigade to be really cool. I even have the official RPG Brigade podcast that I started, only 4 episodes. I'm working on my own podcast now because I was so disappointed in what the RPG Brigade became. It became a bunch of idiots talking about stupid shit, and I'm like, let's play games, man. Let's play fucking games. Okay, you have different opinions, that's fine. We can talk about this, but let's play fucking games. That's what I want. Maybe that's what I want, but you know what? I think that's most everybody wants in the group, right?
I think the RPG Brigade is good at what it does. It encourages discussion, you know, and whatever. They talk about a lot of shit that will no longer be allowed to be talked about in the OSG. We're now much more streamlined in what's going to be allowed.
Smart. No, let's say smart. What Fox is smart.
But, you know, that's fine. The RPG Brigade talk about the hobby better than we do, probably. We play games better than they do, I think, because if you just look at the amount of people in the group playing games and the events being run, and if you look at, like, even Brigade Con, you know, something I was pretty proud of last Brigade Con was there was a lot of OSG representatives there running games in the con, and I think there's going to be even more this coming year, you know, because that's what we do. We do actually play the games, and I'm not knocking those guys. I didn't discover them until after the OSG because I kind of came into the hobby backwards as far as the online element goes. But you know, we run games. That's really fundamentally what you said. That's really what we're trying to do. Make more games happen. Period. You know.
I know Fox went to run games in the Brigade Con. I ran games.
I always intend to start something up in the OSG, and then I get scared that I'm going to have an obligation pop up because my schedule's so hectic, and I frighten myself out of adding it in. I'm just like, oh man, I got to get in there, and I should get in there and run a Dystopia Rising game, introducing people to that. I should get in there and run some Hicks at Draconis. I should run some Golden Sky Stories or something.
Well,
You know what? Because you're a
the OSG
decent
will
person.
still be there. It'll still be there when
No,
you have that
Fox.
goal in your agenda. You say, or your agenda. Sorry, your
You're
diet.
not doing you're not doing that like a specific player. I'm not going to say anything. You actually, instead of like promising games and not running them, you're saying, "Well, I want to run these games, but I cannot run these games, so I won't even put them up." You know what? That's not a crime. That's totally fine. And I try, and every game that I try to run, I always try to run. I have rescheduled games many times. I have not been there on games, but I have always tried to be. I have failed, but I always try to be on my games on time. And that's the thing is that that's all you can do, you know. And that's the thing is that sometimes if you feel like I have too much shit going on, then you just don't run a game, and it's okay. And I think it's okay because rather than promising a game and then not running it is much better. Much worse than thinking about a game that you want to run and then don't run it. I mean, it's logical, I think.
I don't know. It's one of the reasons why I try not to cause trouble because I don't contribute as much as I would like to. I like to think that if I'm not contributing, at least hopefully I'm only mildly annoying.
I don't
There's
know, man.
a lot of silence that's making me nervous.
No, sorry. I was involved in sending a text message to somebody there.
That's fine.
But no,
I
I
was
don't know. I can't personally think of any time that you've come up and said, "Man, this fucking Fox Winter guy. You see what he's talking? He's doing over there, Andrew. Like, who's this fucking guy? He doesn't run any games. You ever hear of this guy? No. That's never been a conversation that I'm aware of anyway. So I don't think you're in any danger, Fox. And you know what? If anything, I appreciate the fact that you decided not to commit to a game that you're not sure if you can run. But I would encourage you to just go ahead, take a chance, man. Try to run a game, Even if you just try one a month or something, see if you can pull it off, Shit. We don't have a problem with people who try to set up games and then say, look, guys, I'm sorry, my work schedule got really demanding, or whatever it is. Various things come up. My wife's in the hospital. My brother-in-law needs help move, whatever, and I can't.
Brother-in-law needs pushed down the stairs.
Yeah, that shit happens, Hell yeah.
For a lark.
Call the
My brother-in-law needs to push down the
we
stairs.
can hook you up, man,
Right on.
But no, you know what I mean? That shit happens, so it's cool.
Yeah. No, I could totally. And I was gonna say as to the games running in OSG a lot more than they run in RPG Brigade. I don't think the RPG Brigade is as focused on that. That's actually one of the reasons why I specifically joined that tabletop group. Is because I was like, oh well, this is straight up dedicated to putting games together. So this can open up to a much wider community. The RPG Brigade, I think, and I could be mistaken, this is my understanding, is that it's more of a media share site with elements of, if you organize a game, whatever, that's cool, But it seems more of an RPG media exchange situation. So
was initially.
So yeah, and like outside discussions, I think if they were to say no outside discussions at all from that group, it would be a much bigger deal. Because like I said, the one-shot group is very focused. It's very specialized. It has a specific goal, and I think the brigade is a lot more of an open community, with like just more tentacles shooting out in various directions, grabbing a hold of metaphysical ideas, and I think that that difference is a good difference, because one group is able to do things that the other group isn't, and that there's a reason to be in both as a result.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I agree with that, but I also will say about the brigade right now, the brigade has become the whole, oh, I'm going to post a stupid meme picture, let's discuss about that, and let's discuss about the political, historical, religious topics. That you're right, it's less focused. I don't even check really the brigade anymore for topics because you know what? It's for the seventh time I see the same meme picture. I'm like, fuck you forever. Like seriously, I get it.
That's why I
Okay,
don't repost
there
memes
is
unless
the female has a chainmail bikini. She's gonna be shot by the arrow. What about the male barbarian? He doesn't even have a goddamn bikini. I don't give a fuck. You know what? I don't give a fuck. You know what? Give the male guy a bikini and everything is great or something. I don't give a fuck. Like fucking play a barbarian. You want to play a female barbarian? Play her naked. That's great. Fucking play a male barbarian. Give him a fucking full plate armor because that's the solution to everything. But you know what? I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about stupid discussions. Prove your point. That's what I like about the one-shot point. Prove your goddamn point. I play stupid, obnoxious, idiot characters even before the OSG. Like people know my stupid orc from fucking the fucking Matt Click's game where I played an orc. But you know what? I played a fucking orc. I committed to that. And I don't give a fuck because I'm gonna play a stupid fucking primal fucking out of the jungle goddamn orc who is barely a loincloth and he has a bone he hits shit with. That's the thing. And that's the thing is that you give, you know what? Seriously, I don't give a fuck what's your thesis unless you can actually prove it to me through actual gameplay. That's why I like when people are bold enough to like, hey bro, here's my gameplay, record it because, you know, bro. And I'm like, okay, oh, it's pretty good gameplay. You got a point there. You know, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe you're right. You know, but on the end, I don't give a fuck because you know what? Gameplay is pretty cool. But you know what? When people just talk their shit, their fucking mouth. Oh, here's a meme picture. I'm right. And
speaking of people talking
that's all I'm
shit,
gonna say.
That was some angry logic from.
That was good.
I know,
you reminded me of something that I wanted to say because you said you did talk about talking shit, and you know who never records their games? That's Philip Adam Posey. I think somebody might have some performance issues.
That's not true. I think he did record some of his games.
No, he deleted them all, and I only said that just because this is on air, so you know.
Okay. Look. I don't want to give shit to people.
That's
okay?
that's coming from me. That's coming from Ian Christensen.
Okay.
You can find me at Fantastic Dimensions on YouTube. You can find me at Fantastic Dimensions on WordPress as well. I'm open.
Good channel. If you have any hate mail, what I'm saying is that role-playing is about, you know what? Role-playing should be, at least in my opinion, about fucking expressing your ideas about a world that doesn't exist, okay? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if... What?
I'm sorry, I wanted to cut you off so bad when you had that slight pause. You said role-playing is about fucking, and I was like, well, I have a game for you. It's called Alpha Blue. The little narrow in that department, but it'll get the job done.
I played that in that game. It's fine. It's great.
I've got a game for you. It's called Hot Guys Making Out.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that game is
John,
about sexy guys kissing. It's not about fucking.
I'm sorry, but when I run it, it is going to be.
Well, you run it wrong.
I run it well.
Well, you see, John and Fox. I'm kind of very classical. I'm very like, you know, guy means girl or woman, you know, and has, you know, and eventually has sexual intercourse. You know, that's me. I'm very like, you know, boring, I guess, you know.
What?
About 2 inches.
I'll roleplay. I'll roleplay something else. I'm fine with roleplaying.
That was like
something else.
2 feet to the right, 2 inches of where your hand was. Right next to the paper towel. Give me the bottle of water.
Shut up!
Oh my god!
I don't even know
I'm
what
sorry.
you're talking
I'm sorry.
about.
I should have muted my mic. I thought that was going to be a really simple endeavor.
I can't find it, okay?
I thought you wanted to get me with like me saying something about sex in the game, and like I was like, you know, whatever. Anyway, so all I'm saying is that I think the one-shot group in general is about let's run games. It doesn't matter if you want to discuss in the game what the game is about or what you don't like or whatever, and then you can leave or join the group.
I doubt there's a lot of people. I doubt there's a lot of people who have problem with sex and role-playing games as long as everybody there is signed on for it, like and comfortable with it, you know.
And you know what? You know how I do sex? It's for me. It's like I'm okay with sex,
Everyone
but the
being
detail.
comfortable is good, but if
No,
someone isn't and it is forced, then it becomes a problem.
for
That's not what
me,
we're talking about, though.
Yeah.
for me personally, it's like
Damn it.
people can have all the sex they want, pretty much. Pretty much. All I'm saying is that the details are going to be in your head.
Well, I
I'm
was
going to
just
say,
thinking of,
okay,
that
you
Star
guys,
Wars
you guys are going to have a great time, and that's
session.
it. Next morning, I don't
I mean,
describe
it's
like
fun,
that. Maybe
but
you can like I don't have a need to describe the exact details for me personally. I don't know. Maybe you could call that whatever, but that's just how I roll.
It's simply called Fade to Black.
I just call that. I just
Fade
call
to
that
black,
setting.
yeah.
I just call that setting your comfort level. Everybody needs to be able to do that. Oh shoot, there's a discussion going on over here.
a discussion? What?
I didn't say discussion.
I swear to
A
God,
dick
you
discussion.
I didn't.
I'm all about that.
Oh shit! You woke Nick up.
You woke Nick up with the discussion. That's great. I love it.
Nick, how do you feel about sex and role-playing games?
I'm a fade to black kind of guy myself. I don't really feel like it needs to be described. It would be awkward for everyone involved. When I first started playing online, I played in the ICQ room, or ICQ group, with some guys I found on a fucking forum. Like, what is this, 2000? And the DM was very much into sex, and, like, it was role-played out, and he would turn it into, like, pretty legit erotic fiction. Still, it was kind of strange for me. But everyone else had a great time with it.
How do you get a vehicle?
You can imagine it in your own mind, I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I think that's probably that the whole fade to black notion I think is probably what you're gonna get most of the time.
It's a solid strategy.
Look,
It is.
I don't give
It's
a fuck if
respectable.
it's like.
It
I-
leaves
I-
a whole lot of stuff to the imagination and out of the without dangling your genitals in the face of everybody else
Look,
at the table.
I fucking love Alpha Blue. I mean, I like crazy, graphic, gory violence. I don't want to sit there and really, in a hangout game with somebody, talk about the graphic details of a sexual encounter. Generally, yeah, it's
more fun too.
I don't think I really want to talk about this. In this certain state, especially since I broadcast all the games on my channel as well. That makes it even worse. But
I think if anybody actually goes into detail with that stuff, it's probably in one-on-one stuff like he was talking about with
and at that point,
like chat rooms.
Come on,
But
let's just put the fucking dice down, dim the lights, and
That's cool. If you want to do
do
it
a little
one-on-one,
LARP, you know.
if you're that's the thing. If your group is okay with it, I'm not forcing. I think nobody is here forcing like this is how you have to do it. But I'm personally like, yeah, you can do it. Like already way back. Like I used to have some weird rules with role playing, but I changed them. But I'm always have been the one rule I always said like if you have sex, fade to black. It's like you have a good time, and it's actually more funnier because everybody chuckles because everybody imagines their own versions of it. And that's a great thing if somebody is like, like I was in fucking Utah in college, right? So we had this thing is like oh, somebody has sex and whatever, and then like in a role playing game, and that's actually something with Nicholas Hartunian and actually not even Nicholas Hartunian, but with Parker. He would play a female bard, and his thing is he wanted to get together with one of the Amazons. I said, yeah, sure, you can be together with the Amazons. So now you're married to one of them, basically. So you have a whole thing of them because I even coupled it in with how he leveled up. So he got together with a very masculine, very very strong, like barbarian style female, and she was like, and that's her Parker's now partner, and the details were up to them, and I said, okay, you had a big ritual basically and everything, a big party, and the rest is up to you. And he was happy with that. And that's the thing is that, and then and that's you can create connections. But I always feel that as you guys said, you don't have to go this extra mile. I think it's like it becomes weird. At least to me, and to some people, it doesn't matter, what their sexuality is or whatever. That's everybody's own business. But like you say, like for me, it's like I don't care pretty much. Like guy with guy, woman with woman, whatever, like or normal like guy with woman. It's like fine. But the rest is in Fade to Black. That's it.
That's reasonable.
I kind of feel I killed the conversation there.
No, I don't think so. I just don't think I don't know what else we can say on that.
I think that was a comfortable. Yeah, I think that was a comfortable lull.
You know what?
Actually, I was just about to chastise everybody for their lack of dedication to the craft.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to give you my 15-minute intro speech, followed by a great setup of the scene.
Don't you guys want to get more out of your role-playing experience?
I left my thespian hat at home.
I've prepared a soliloquy. I haven't.
We all know that Andrew is the original thespian, so.
Andrew is a champion of the OSR, actually. Aren't you, Andrew?
With his goddamn pipe and everything. Right, Andrew?
What shit are you guys talking?
We're talking about how much big of a thespian you are, right?
That's what you were saying. I was saying that Andrew has changed and he's become a champion of the OSR.
Absolutely. I'm just kidding, really, so.
I've tried to play a whole bunch of different ways. Right now, I guess I would describe myself as just not caring. Like I've tried to realign myself to just worry about playing them like games and having fun with them. I think it's like a deep rabbit hole you can get into when you start thinking about like styles and all that other crap. At the end of the day, for me, it's just how much fun did I have.
I gotta say here quickly about Andrew. Andrew, I think you're one of the chosen people that I love to role play with simply because I remember the fourth game of Censar. Nobody showed up, but you did. And you know what? That's been one of my favorite sessions because Francis, you're doing it. Seriously, that game, and everybody gives shit about Censar. I'm gonna say, you know what? I had great times with Censar. That's all I'm gonna say. You can say everything about Censar, but at great times because Francis was doing it. Right, Andrew?
Yeah, that was really fun. All those Censar games were fun, actually.
Yeah.
Goliath are what are they called? Golgothans. Golgothans are amazing.
They're Yauta. They're the fucking predator race. But you know what? The guys who made the game, they're ballsy, and it was great. And I want to run more Censar if I can get the players. So you're definitely invited, Andrew. So we will break through the dream barrier. Nudge, nudge.
That would be a book I'd be interested in buying if it wasn't so damn expensive.
See, that's how big of that's how big of an idiot I am that I spend money on that book. But whatever. Ugh.
I'm interested in Censar too. It sounds sweet. It sounds like a 90s Conan comic book romp.
That's what it is. It's specifically a comic book, like 90s comic book, specifically like what is it, a Liefeld style?
Yeah, like
isn't there like flaming
Wildcats, yeah.
Like flaming phoenix chicks with Wolverine claws?
Oh, there's literally a race where the depiction is they have Wolverine claws. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even exaggerating that. It's we can do this. Nicholas Artunia, you are invited for an next Censor game. Done. As long as your time works and everything, because scheduling is the biggest enemy of the OSG. And drama.
Oh, I hear that.
Scheduling and drama is the biggest enemy of the OSG. We can agree on that.
Yeah, time zones. I fucking hate them.
Oh my god! The first we did a we were gonna do a thing on our channel where we were gonna regularly have online hangouts with people, and we never got around to doing much more of it. But the first time we did it, I had 2 guests from Australia on at the same time, and one of our guests was on from Missouri. So I wound up having to, I have to coordinate this hangout between 4 different time zones. Because our 2 Australian guests lived on opposite side, like north and south opposite sides, so one of them was on the other side of a time zone. And I was like, this is a goddamn mess. That was it. That was the whole of my rant.
That's fair. It's a very, very common rant, honestly, in what we do.
So many games I have failed on doing. Oh my god, it's the Swingle!
Oh,
It's the Alice
when
Swingle.
you look at the time,
Just about, I wanted to wrap it up, and then there's Alex fucking Swingle. What's up, man?
Well, this is actually the perfect time to wrap it up then. Hey.
that's not Alex Swingle. He's dead. I haven't seen that guy.
This is somebody who's hacked his account to play cruel jokes.
He's a really good guy. He knows Alex Swingle if he can hack the account that well, right?
No, anyways, besides awkward silence, continue talking, guys. I just wanted to show up just in case for commentary.
Okay.
Thanks.
No, I actually have a legit comment, like not just a stupid anecdote that somebody made me think of. Andrew actually basically outlined my entire philosophy on gaming right now that I've come to, and that is what is fun. And that's basically like the whole like short and long of my entire gaming philosophy now is do what's fun.
It's a good one. I like it.
Like whatever's fun at your table is you're doing it right.
I'll be right back and get some beer, so go ahead and continue.
You sure that's a good idea, buddy?
Yep, I have one more left, so.
Shit. Me too, and I don't have to fucking drive to school for at least an hour and a half.
Hey, you're good.
I'm just lying. I only have a half beer left.
Well, man, I mean, I definitely agree. It's kind of hard in some of these communities to take that stance, too, because I think people kind of look down their nose at you a bit.
Yep, speaking like a real classy politician when saying, just do what's fun.
Oh.
Well, there's all kinds of different ways you can play. All kinds of different ways you can play a game.
No, you're right. I'm just saying that's definitely what I've noticed some people's attitudes towards that type of commentary.
Yeah, and you get like some people are so insulting about it. Just like, dude's just role players. They don't just roll dice. They're not, they're not putting enough thought into their game. They could be getting so much more out of it. And I'm just like, I can never get enough. Navel gazing solipsism in my time in my dice rolling fantasy game, and I'm like, get into character, get in there, have fun, It doesn't if that's what's fun, don't make your character just a endless stream of deaths as you hammer your way through. I mean, I play Dark Souls, like obviously I love doing that. I platinumed Bloodborne. But I don't want to, so that's fun. Sure, if you're having fun with that, do that. But, like, I don't know, I keep getting irritated with that kind of arguments and there's, like, other people like, oh, you're just a worthless thespian, you can't play a real game. And it's like, oh, come on, guys.
Look, it's the same kind of assholes to say you're a worthless thespian. It's the same kind of guys to say, oh, you're just a power gamer. It's like the bullshit. I'm saying, you know what? You know what? I fucking played Rift. I played a fingertooth carpetbagger,
I
and
have
it was
gr-
great.
I have
Great
grown
fucking.
I have grown to loathe that term, power gamer.
Yeah,
Ugh.
you know what? I was a fingertooth carpetbagger. I was in Rifts. It was great opportunity until somebody
Mhm.
covered me with a flamethrower. That's what I'm gonna say.
You know,
Forever
I think
butthurt.
I think what I really dislike about it is the whole GNS thing, like that whole Forge theory where they try to divide up the type of gamer you are. Because when I
Yeah.
get off the internet and I actually play with normal people that don't spend a lot of their time dealing with RPGs, they do everything. They'll switch back and forth to multiple different things through the game, and they don't give a fuck. They're just doing whatever strikes their fancy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's great. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. People got together and had fun.
Of course, I'm the troll. I'm going to say that fucking Andrew said if we're not normal players. I'm just kidding. I'll stop there.
What?
Because he said when you get off the internet and then you play with normal players. So I'll stop there.
No, you
I'm
see, I
horrible.
think what you get when you go online is what I would call philosophy of RPGs, for better and for worse. I mean, I think at its best, it gets you thinking about different ways you can look at or play games. But at its worst, and I think often it's destructive. It becomes an exercise of like snobbery and
Very
how steeped you believe you are
will
and
not be
the
ready to
arcane art of
deploy.
RPG.
Totally, yeah. It becomes problematic. You know why? And I actually enjoy also
Give me
playing
my
like with
coffee.
like you and Alex and all the people because I remember also the thing with Fox. We
Try
played
to do it
Palladium
again. I'm
Fantasy.
rubbing
I'm
my
like,
computer.
let's just play a fucking game and just not think about it too much, And you're totally right. I was just trolling, really, because
Take it
there's
back.
so many people. What this thing is like, oh, I
At
want to make
like
this great
3.
game, but there's like this person who is saying that I'm not the great thespian that I am, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? You know what? Who gives a fuck? This guy who says that you're not good enough, fucking run that game, run the fucking, you know what? Run the goddamn inn. I'm gonna fucking run the inn, and the fucking idiot asshole guy is gonna come in. He's gonna fall over the place. He's gonna give the mission statement. You're gonna go and you're gonna go to the goddamn dungeon. We're gonna troll the goddamn internet. If people tell you that you are fucking too classic, then troll them. You know what? Just run the goddamn game as you wanted to run it.
Yeah. Have someone who's all talk about how great they are, and you go full retard on them, and see how they react.
Never
I've done
go
that
full
before,
retard.
and they're not great at usually responding.
Full is better than half.
Yep.
Yeah, I've actually went back on my channel and pulled old videos, like videos I made in my first year on YouTube, because I thought they like no longer uh, passed the stink test for me. Like some of the stuff I used to say was kind of ridiculous involving RPGs. I think it's a little bit preachy. It's probably because my first my first reach out online was to kind of the more philosophy-based groups, or kind of like the more armchairy groups that weren't focused on playing and more focused on discussion or like trying to boil down certain aspects of the game.
Hmm.
And I look back at some of those now, like bad. Some guy, I had a video up recently I took down on power gaming that I made like 2.5 years ago. And some guy posted on it, and he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "I feel so bad. I don't want to be a power gamer." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Dude, I'm like fucking retarded, man. Don't listen to that. Like, if you want to be a power gamer, be a power gamer." Like, I made this one. I didn't know what I was talking about. The only reason I keep it up is to, keep myself in check.
As like the only like I wouldn't the only reason I have a problem with that term is because it's used like for everybody,
Hmm.
and it's like, oh, you didn't re-roll a character that had 2 stats over 17 or 2 stats 16 or higher. You're a power gamer. I would have reduced my stats to give myself a greater challenge. I'm like, good for you. I rolled really well, and I'm happy about that. I'm gonna enjoy the thing, but I mean, it's like I get it when somebody is like kind of overstepping and like kind of getting to where they're kind of bullying the table a little bit.
Like
again,
Mitchell Grubbs.
I don't have anything to say about that. I'm far too diplomatic.
Oh dear.
And
somebody is getting grubby. I'm kidding. I'll stop here.
Yeah, that's
Mitchell, you're great. If you're watching this, you're great. I'm kidding. Stop here.
He's the king of the power gamers, though. He's great, but that dude's like a power gamer prodigy.
I like Mitchell. He's a fun guy.
I actually haven't seen Mitchell in a while. Does he play games online anymore, or did he?
The last time he played in a Marvel Face Rip game. Surprise, surprise. And he was pretty awesome, actually. I must say, he played really well.
He likes my statuses from time to time.
He was in the Mutant Face Rip style game, my Mutant campaign, or also known as Super Dix campaign setting, and it was pretty crazy. It ended up being like Dragon Ball Z, basically.
Yeah, I linked him in that Rifts thread the other day when I was fighting with those guys about Palladium. And I saw he was still in the group, because I hadn't seen him in so long. I thought maybe he had left Facebook or something.
Look, I have power gamed in my life before, too. I did some pretty stupid shit. I mean, for crying out loud. If you want to be honest, my last Rifts character, you could argue it's a fucking, what is it? Zontar,
the cheese.
The Malvoran, yeah, the cheese, basically. He literally confused with weapons. He's the USB android. Confused with weapons, and he can, like, shoot with all the weapons. Like, there's a specific... The only limit he has to shooting with weapons at the same time is how much he could carry physically with his strength, which is still pretty ridiculous. So, yeah. For me, I think my difference is with min-maxing is, like, that you create a character in the way you want to make it, as powerful or as like weak and emo as you wanted, but you create the character in that in the categories that the DM sets you. For me, power gaming means in general that you're trying to get away with as much power as you can. You know, even borderline or even full on cheating. You know, for me, min-maxing is where it's like, okay, this is the parameters that my DM gave me. I'm gonna work within these parameters, you know. So.
I lost track of the conversation for a second.
Just some noise was made. Continue.
It was. I heard Sean talking though, so I bet it was awesome noise.
Yes. No, he was just defining what he was talking about for what he thinks is a power gamer.
It's I don't know. It's tricky. I kind of stopped using the term altogether. I started using the term, like I mentioned, like bully gaming. Mm-hmm. I've seen this phenomenon where some people who are a bit more socially adept will just take control of a table and just push people into doing what they want because they're, some people are just better at doing that than others. And it's something that you can do unconsciously. I have to like pay attention to myself because I'm very outgoing in like one-on-one social situations when we get gaming. I have to remind myself not to just be in charge and talk over everybody. So, but there's that kind of thing. But you know what I don't understand? And is there's still so much bad mouthing of Rifts and Palladium in the midst of this huge old school gaming revival, like culture that's going on, like this old school revival. I'm like, oh my god, guys, you want to play an old school game? Let's get out the Palladium FRPG. It doesn't get much more old school than that. The system hasn't changed in 20 years.
Hmm.
Oh, but we won't play that because it's not D&D. So
Yeah.
I want to say one thing about what you said, and it's actually really cool what you said, because it vibes so much what I think. Because I had players like that. That's why I'm so afraid of the game of Fate, because Fate is all about how much can you bullshit in the game, literally.
It's
Like,
pretty well
look,
controlled.
I don't know, man. Like I know people that I played with. They could abuse the game so fucking easily. Like you have to be, unless you're a DM that is really on his shit, you know. That's my thing, is because it's all about what you say, how you say it. With Rifts, for example, you're right too. Also, that it's also about like being in control and stuff. But in Rifts or in the Palladium games or in D&D or anything that was more skill-based, where it's like, okay, these are my abilities that I have. I have to work in these parameters, Even in a Supers game like Phase Rip, these are the powers that I have. I have to work in these parameters. With Fate, it's all about how the fuck do I bullshit my way through the game. At least that's how I see it. And I might be wrong. I haven't played a lot of Fate, but that's how I feel it.
That's not really how I would describe it. There's just a lot more. There's like I think what you're saying there is Fate gives a little bit more leeway to kind of like angle. Did we just lose Sean? Oh no, he's right
no,
there.
I'm still here. I don't want to like interrupt you. That's why.
Oh no! I just saw a person drop, and for a second I thought it was you, and I was like, oh wait, no, that was Nick. All right. There's just I think a little bit more leeway to use your abilities, so players kind of angle for like, hey, will this work in this situation? And Game Master has to be this like, no.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, though.
You just have to have players that are responsible enough to say, maybe a single but, and if the Game Master doesn't agree at that point, then you gotta have people that are, responsible enough to be like, okay.
You know what?
Maybe talk to you after the game if they really feel like put out by that, like, oh, I really should have been able to get that. Let's have a civil conversation after the game's over so we don't disrupt play.
I think that's the problem. Is you're talking about civil conversation. You're talking about people taking responsibility and all those things. So you're having illusions of grandeur. No, I'm kidding. Not even you. It's just the general people that you play with in general. And maybe yes, I'm gonna be the dick here. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. I'm gonna be, so.
I don't know. I think most of us are relatively reasonable people. Most people in the gaming community are, and the people and I think that because everybody is going to gravitate eventually into a group where everybody considers what they're doing reasonable.
Yeah.
So it's a situational thing. I think that's why conversations get kind of hot in large gaming platforms like the Brigade, because you have a lot of different people with a lot of different ideas about what is and isn't reasonable.
Some with extremist attitudes of what is reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Just want to say for now, anybody has any final words here? If you want to, because I want to stop the recorded. We've been going for quite some time now. Holy shit! I think that's been the longest Darabka's RPG Tavern.
Oh, when did we start? Like 11?
I don't even know. Fucking.
Wait, it's impossible for me to ask. You're in a different time zone. That's a stupid question.
I'm in another dimension. I've got floating eyeballs here and all this shit. Mm-hmm. So the real question is here. I'm going to ask everyone from left to right how I see them. And please, if you want to have a final word or anything to plug, or both, please take as much time as you want. And yeah, so we'll start with Alex Swingle. Do you have anything to plug? Anything to say? Anything? Final words? Anything?
I'm just happy to be here.
Great job. And then we have the next person is the one and only SRC Joker, Andrew Knapp.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. The only thing I'd plug is if you want to play some games online, check out the one-shot group on Facebook.
Mustaf checked it out. And then the next person is going to be the one and only Ian Christensen, a.k.a. the Lord of the Fantastic Dimensions. Ian? Okay, Ian is not here for the moment. We will skip over to Fox Winter, and go ahead if you want to plug something, anything, and yeah, and final words. Go ahead.
My final words are, I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who poverty and tatters and hollowed-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of Coldwater Flats, floating across the tops of cities, contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven under the L and saw the Mohammedan angel staggering on tenement roofs of Illuminated, who passed through universities with radiant cool eyes hallucinating Arkansas and Blake Light tragedy among the scholars of war, who were expelled in the academies of crazy and publishing obscene odes in the I really thought somebody was going to tell me to shut up by now.
I was tempted, but
you were on the first of it.
I was fascinated more than anything. Like,
How the fuck am I supposed to follow Howl by Ginsberg? Like, what the fuck is that?
How
Do
the fuck? How
Do
Like-
something original and you'll be way better off than I am.
Right?
Anyway,
Here,
but
Nick. Follow,
Yeah.
like the gay idol of the beatnik generation.
There we go.
I'm Nick. I don't have anything to plug. You should go read Howl by Ginsberg, though.
It's really good.
So Ian Christensen, are you there? Anyway, you should check out Fantastic Dimensions for Ian Christensen. It's freaking awesome, and he is one of the Adams, obviously, of the OSG, but he's also an awesome guy. He runs. What does he run? He runs My Farog, and he runs Lamentations of the Frame Princess and all other stuff for games, and he's fucking awesome. And every game I played with him, my character died all the time, so that might be a good or a bad thing. But Andrew, do you want to say anything good about Ian Christensen? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a speech prepared, I guess. Ian Christensen, yeah. That was a good guy. I was in this group with them called the One Shot Group. Yeah, that was a real good group. We played a bunch of games together, and yeah, we're pretty decent games. Yeah.
Okay, this ended like a Tim and Eric sketch, so I'm going to end it like a Tim and Eric sketch. So, thank you, everyone who has been watching, and great job.